Picture a Hollywood feud so intense it still sparks whispers decades later. Sally Field, an Oscar-winning icon, didn't just dislike her co-star Tommy Lee Jones. She loathed him with a fire that burned through every scene they shared. Their clash on the set of Backroads in 1981 wasn't just professional tension. It was a collision of titans that left a mark on Field's heart and Hollywood lore. Let's dive into Sally Field's remarkable life, her rise to stardom, and the raw truth behind why she despised Jones more than anyone she'd ever worked with. Born Sally Margaret Field on November 6, 1946, in Pasadena, California, Sally grew up with showbiz in her blood. Her mother, Margaret Field, was an actress, and her stepfather, Jock Mahoney, was a stuntman turned actor, giving her an early glimpse into the glitz and grind of Hollywood. But her childhood wasn't all glamour. Raised in a blended family, Sally wrestled with shyness and self-doubt, feeling like an outsider in her own skin. Yet beneath that quiet exterior burned a spark that would light up screens. After graduating from Birmingham High School in Van Nuys, she landed her breakout role in 1965 as the bubbly surfer girl in Gidget. The sitcom, though short-lived at one season, showcased her infectious charm and comedic knack, making her a household name. Soon after, from 1967 to 1970, she soared, literally, as Sister Bertrille in The Flying Nun, a quirky show about a nun who could fly. It was a hit, but Sally chafed at being pigeonholed as the perky girl next door, craving roles with grit and depth. Determined to break free, she threw herself into serious training at the Actors Studio under the legendary Lee Strasberg. Those sessions reshaped her, giving her the tools to dig deep and the courage to chase complex characters. Her transformation paid off in 1976 with Sybil, a TV movie where she played a woman battling dissociative identity disorder. Her raw, heart-wrenching performance stunned audiences, snagged an Emmy, and flipped her career on its head. Hollywood stopped seeing her as a sitcom darling and started recognizing a dramatic powerhouse. That opened the door to Norma Rae in 1979, where she portrayed a fierce Southern mill worker turned union activist. Her authentic, fiery performance won her a Best Actress Oscar, and her acceptance speech, "You like me, you really like me," became an iconic cry of validation, echoing her long fight for respect. Through the 1980s, Sally dazzled in diverse roles, from the action comedy Smokey and the Bandit in 1977 and The End in 1978 alongside Burt Reynolds, her real-life love at the time, to the soul-stirring Places in the Heart in 1984, which earned her a second Oscar. Her role as a grieving mother in Steel Magnolias in 1989 blended strength and fragility, cementing her versatility. Into the 90s and beyond, she kept shining, playing Tom Hanks' devoted mom in Forrest Gump in 1994, a role that became a cultural touchstone. She returned to TV with acclaimed turns in ER and Brothers and Sisters, where her portrayal of a family matriarch earned another Emmy. Even in her 70s, Sally took on bold challenges, from a Broadway run in The Glass Menagerie to her Oscar-nominated role as Mary Todd Lincoln in Spielberg's Lincoln in 2012. Off-screen, she's been a fierce advocate for women's rights, LGBTQ+ equality, and mental health, bearing her soul in her 2018 memoir In Pieces, which revealed her struggles with self-worth and her resilient spirit. Sally's personal life mirrors her career's highs and lows, marked by love, loss, and fierce independence. In 1968, at the dawn of her fame with Gidget and The Flying Nun, she married Stephen Craig. Their union overlapped with her push to shed her lightweight image for meatier roles. They had two sons, Peter, born in 1969, now a novelist and screenwriter for films like The Town and Top Gun, Maverick, and Eli, born in 1972, an actor and director known for Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Though Sally and Craig separated in 1973 and divorced in 1975, She's always spoken of her sons with fierce pride, crediting motherhood with grounding her through Hollywood's chaos. Post-divorce, Sally fell hard for Burt Reynolds, sparking one of the era's most electric romances from 1976 to 1980. They met on Smokey and the Bandit, a 1977 blockbuster that made them a beloved on- and off-screen duo. Their chemistry fueled three more films: Smokey and the Bandit 2, The End, and Hooper. But their off-screen love was a roller coaster, intense yet fraught. Sally later described Burt as magnetic but controlling, unable to handle vulnerability, which strained their bond. They drifted apart by 1980, with an on-and-off fling fizzling out by 1982. In her memoir, Sally called their relationship complex and painful, though Burt, in his 2015 memoir, dubbed her the love of his life with lingering regret. In 1984, Sally found stability with film producer Alan Greisman, marrying him as her career soared post-Norma Ray and Places in the Heart. They welcomed her third son, Sam, in 1987, now a writer and advocate. Sally spoken warmly of Sam and her tight-knit family, balancing stardom with motherhood despite the demands. Her marriage to Greisman ended in 1994, but her focus on family never wavered. Now, let's get to the firestorm. Sally Field and Tommy Lee Jones on the set of Backroads in 1981. Hollywood's full of behind-the-scenes clashes, but this one was volcanic. Sally, known for her candor, didn't mince words. "I've worked with tough men before, but Tommy was in a league of his own. He was impossible. I hated him more than anyone I've ever worked with." Her raw frustration paints a picture of a grueling shoot. At the time, Sally was riding high off Norma Ray and her Oscar win, proving her dramatic chops, while Tommy Lee Jones, known for his intense, methodical style, was carving out a name with his brooding presence. Their on-screen chemistry in Backroads crackled, but off-screen, it was pure hostility. Sally said their tense scenes didn't need acting. Every glare, every word was loaded. "I wasn't faking my anger. I was livid." Their clash stemmed from clashing styles. Sally thrived on emotional openness and collaboration. Jones was domineering, often dismissive, with a reputation for being argumentative. "He was condescending," Sally fumed. "He acted like I didn't know my craft, and I'd already won an Oscar. It was insulting." Crew members described the set as a pressure cooker, with icy silences and simmering resentment between the leads. The film demanded intimate, raw scenes, and their real-life friction made the performances electric. Critics praised the gritty realism, unaware it was fueled by genuine disdain. Sally admitted she channeled her fury into her role. "Every bit of irritation I felt for Tommy powered my acting. It was almost therapeutic." But when filming ended, she swore she'd never work with him again. "I couldn't stand being near him." Tommy Lee Jones, famously tight-lipped, never fully addressed Sally's barbs, brushing off Feud talk as Hollywood noise. Insiders noted his prickly nature often clashed with strong-willed co-stars like Sally, who refused to be cowed. A crew member recalled, "Sally held her ground, and that made things worse. It was like two hurricanes slamming into each other." Years later, Sally reflected with a mix of wry humor and lingering edge, "He's a brilliant actor, sure, but that doesn't mean I have to like him. I didn't. I hated him." Her bluntness resonated with fans who admired her refusal to gloss over Hollywood's rough edges. "People think co-stars always bond," she said. "Sometimes you just endure." Backroads remains a minor entry in their storied careers. Sally went on to Places in the Heart and Steel Magnolias, Jones to The Fugitive and No Country for Old Men, but it's remembered for their explosive clash. Sally's unfiltered verdict on Jones stands out as a testament to her honesty. "Talent doesn't excuse cruelty. I'd work with anyone else." That raw truth, paired with her fearless career and resilient spirit, defines Sally Field, a woman who built a legacy on passion, grit, and speaking her mind, no matter the cost.